welcome to Psychic Girls Next Door. We're back. December. Oh my God.
Yes, I feel like it's been a while since we've chatted, and like, I mean, we meet once a month, but it's good to be here for the last episode of the year, 2021.
I know. Isn't this so wild? I know that we always say like, oh, this year has flown by, but I would say that 2025 it's just, to me, it's almost like a blur.
Yeah.
It's like so much has happened and there was so much going on in the world too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's a lot happening all the time.
Oh my gosh. But I think it's been pretty intense. I've been, hearing people and friends saying like, oh, this year just kicked my ass. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, no, it totally did. And I feel like in a, some really tough, challenging ways, but also like some really beautiful, rewarding, and like, oh, the only way, the phrase like the only way to, get to the end of the tunnel is to go through it. Like you have to just go through the experience or through the situation. I feel like there were a lot of opportunities like that this year for both of us.
Oh my, absolutely. It was just a fun ride.
Yeah.
Ups and downs. And I actually look forward to 2026.
Same.
I've been in spaces where I would be like, kind of like, not that I would dread the new year, but I think when you're stuck in a lot of old beliefs and patterns, you're like, oh, do I have the bandwidth for another year? Because people usually say, oh, new year, new me. I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. I mean, if you're still carrying the same behaviors and patterns, it's going to be the same me.
No, it's so true. It's like, I mean, I think I like the idea of like, New Year's. And like, what's nice is like, we have 3 different types of New Year's. So if you don't get on the bandwagon of January 1st New Year's, you have the, Chinese astrology, like the Chinese New Year is, or what the Lunar New Year, excuse me.
The Lunar New Year, yeah. Well, a lot of different cultures like celebrate New Year at different dates.
Yeah, and like Persian New Year's in March. So like we got January, 6 weeks later, it's Lunar New Year, and then we have like a month later or 5 weeks later, it's basically Persian New Year. So if it takes you a while to like get the plane off the ground, like that's okay. I think there's so many. And what's cool is that, so 2025, I know we talked about this before, but 2025 has been a 9 year, because like the, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9.
Like 9, in numerology, right?
Yeah, in numerology. And so endings, it's all about completion. The 9, because it goes through 1 through 9, and then you start over. And so next year, 2026, adds up to the year number 1. And then in, the Lunar New Year, we're switching from the year of the snake, which is all about shedding. So it matches with the year of the 9 in numerology. So shedding away things that aren't serving you. So we're in the final version of the shed, and like purging and releasing and getting rid of things that you've been holding on to that you don't need to anymore. So definitely like take advantage of the energy right now. I know about both of us have shed parts of our lives and changed parts of our lives in various ways. Like Lili, what has been your biggest shed of the year? Kind of like tapping into that year of the snake and like the 9 endings.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's looking at, well, also the new year is also a great opportunity to always look back and do some self-reflection on what worked and what didn't work and what you want to let go. So you can actually start a new chapter in your life with, things that are more exciting, that lights you up. In my experience, this year has all about rediscovering myself. So shedding old identities, and with that goes also like old beliefs that I had about myself. And I would say it's more related to my healing practices. I can't remember if I shared already here on this podcast that the last few 3, September, October, November, like the last 3.5 months, I was going through a shamanic training,
Mhm.
which also has been the highlight of my year. And it's just been an incredible experience of learning, transformation, also, of course, like a healing opportunity, learning new things, learning new people also that were in that same class. But it was really shaking things up of a lot of the things that I have been practicing on a day-to-day as far as my spiritual practices and healing practices that kind of shifted and opened up more of my perspective
Mhm.
of things that I can incorporate and more rituals, more things in that sense, or more like on a somatic level too. But and I think that's kind of what I feel like. And as you mentioned, there's been a lot of closures this
Mhm.
year, completions, right? Because I guess if you use the analogy of the snake, it's you do shed old things. So I did phased out my meditation teaching
Mhm.
practice.
Yeah.
And and I had a gig on Fridays too that was supposed to be a temporary gig.
Yeah.
And I did it for a while. I don't know. Just didn't think it was worth continuing.
Yeah.
So I also let that go. So it was like listening to my needs and to myself. I mean, it's one of those things also that I also had to look at myself and look at my limiting beliefs around like, oh my gosh, I let that go. There was some money that was coming in.
Yeah.
Now I don't have that source of income. And
Right.
there's part of me that also freaked out about that.
Yeah.
And that's why we get so stuck, right? Like in jobs and situations, it's because of the things that kind of still you justify and
Right. Old
stay
the
in
old
this.
sickness.
Yeah. And then
That
it kind of justifies you staying in this places and environments. So there was a part of me that kind of did freak out about that. I'm not gonna lie because
Mhm.
we're human.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and it's a concern for a lot of us, especially in this financial aspect. So but then I also thought to myself, listening to myself, removing things that I don't feel are aligned anymore, and then
Yeah.
creating space for newer and better things to come. But that takes a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
A lot of trust in yourself and a lot of trust in the universe or whatever it is that you believe. So that's kind of one of the things that I did leave behind.
yeah.
What I
Yes.
want to leave behind in
Right.
2025.
Right.
Those like old beliefs
Oh,
and
sorry, my cats are fighting.
oh wow. See, they have things to share too about what has been working for them this
Yeah,
year.
they are shedding their beef as we speak. Um,
Yeah. Well, I bet they are also the highlight.
yeah, yeah, no, it's like, yeah, no, they're Trixie is one of the highlights of, both of them. I caught them cuddling last night on the chaise chair, and Zoe's making an
Aw.
appearance right now.
Oh,
Um,
Zoe. She always has to come and say
I
hi
know, she's
as
so sweet.
our
Yeah,
mascot
she's basically the mascot. Here, come on.
in the podcast.
She is
And
the
of
mascot.
course, she wants to make like a last appearance in 2025.
Yeah, yeah, I know. She's making her debut. Well, actually, Trixie's more of a debut. I'm gonna. They're just Trixie's over here. While we're talking about my cats, I might as well show you. Oh, she's squirrely. She'll come back. I think that's great that you were able to recognize, like, meditation teaching was no longer serving you, and it can be hard when you're getting a little bit of income from that, and then you also have if there's income attached to a situation or an environment or a job, whatever it is that like isn't serving you, that can be a really hard thing to let go and shift because it's an exchange. You're relying on that income to kind of fulfill parts of your needs. But if you're able to take a step out of it and be like, this is something about this making me feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
or stagnant or blocking me from attracting something new in, like your body you're gonna feel that in your body. And I'm really,
You just know it.
yeah, you just know it.
You
Yeah.
just know it. If you start like dreading
Right.
work, or
Right. Like,
dragging.
do this. Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't feel like you feel like it's a chore, then it
Mhm.
is a chore.
Right.
Yeah, but it is hard to like switch, going from a place where you have stability
Yeah.
when there's none of that next. And for a lot of us, we just like to be in our comfort zones.
Yeah. No, it's
That's
true.
that's basically the reality. A lot of people will say, "Oh, but I want things to change." I'm like, "Do you really want the change? Because it's going to shift a lot of things
Yeah. Yeah.
in your life." And a lot of people, they freak out when that happens and they're like kicking and screaming,
Right.
but they will do it.
Right. And I always find it like, what's more uncomfortable? Like the idea of staying in the situation or job or home environment or workplace, whatever it is. The idea of staying, is that more uncomfortable, or is it more comfortable to take a chance on yourself and start something new? And both are true, right? But it's like that discernment of like, for me, I rather always, especially when it comes to jobs, I have no problem leaving a job environment. And I know that's like
Well,
so,
you had a lot of shifts this year, right? Around your career, like your
yeah,
jobs.
yeah. No, it's crazy. So I got a new job and, I start on the 29th of December, and I will have had 3 different jobs in the year 2025. I am feeling very abundant. So this is exciting. But the past 2 work environments that I was in, very polarizingly different. And it's like, even I went to Costa Rica a couple weeks ago, and like the idea of polarity, you kind of have to be polarizing to kind of like be authentic, right? Like we were talking about it in like the framework of like love and relationships. Like you're not going to be for everybody. You're going to, if by you being your authentic self, basically like let's say 50% is going to match up with that, and then 50% won't like you. But
And
you
that's
want,
okay.
yeah, and that's okay. You want to be polarizing to the sentence as long as you're being your truest authentic version of yourself. And so when you take that lens and be like, okay, and this Costa Rica kind of made me realize like it was all about being in your body and in doing, like, we did yoga, we did movement, we did, where do you feel that in your body? We did meditations and workshops around like love and healing and self-love. And like also, where are you not providing that? Where are you neglecting? What are you not looking at? And it made me realize like I've been so dissociated all year, especially because of my work environment. And like, if you work with toxic mindsets and toxic people, and, you know, every person has the ability to heal. I truly believe that. I truly believe the best in people. But if they're sitting in their own stew, and when I talk about stew, I'm not talking about stew, I'm talking about poop. If they're sitting in their own filth and they're like, oh, this diaper feels so uncomfortable, but they're not willing to change their own diaper. I know this is such a weird analogy,
Oh, it
but,
makes sense,
but
right?
they're choosing to sit in their own filth. Because like even like some situations with the exec I supported, I'm like, how much longer do you want to keep being in this dynamic with this person who is his boss? And because for me, I'm like, I like my exec left 3 weeks into that job, and then she only lasted 4 months. I've seen so many people come and go from that company. And I only joined end of February. I was not there for that long. And I would, the saying like, oh, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. I don't feel like that in jobs. I'm definitely here to always learn and grow and experience something for my own personal growth and development. And I think that's how most people need to look at job environments. Like, are you learning anything new? Are you growing in your career? Whether that's like, leveling or financial growth, or really meeting like mentally stimulating projects that makes your mind expand. If there's no expansion in any way, you got a GTFO. Like
Yeah.
you just
Well,
have to.
for a lot of people, I feel that it's a lot out of survival.
Yeah,
You have a job because you need the paycheck
totally. And like
to
I'm
pay
coming
your
from
bills. Yeah.
I'm a very privileged person at the moment. Like I, feel very grateful for that privilege. But like, I didn't grow up with privilege. I like, so I can understand like some people have to stay in situations
Yeah,
where,
we've been there,
yeah,
right?
oh,
We've been
totally.
in jobs that you're like, wow, I just need a job to pay for my bills. And that's
Yeah.
okay, But I think if you're able to, of course, like you've gained experience and you work your way up
Yeah.
to be where you are today, but it also comes with like taking risks,
Yeah. It
right?
does.
You
Yeah.
also had to take a lot of, steps and leap of faith to be in those places, put yourself out there.
Yeah.
So you would say you're like letting go of
I
the
think
people. Remember when we talk about like the people pleasing?
yeah, it goes
Yeah.
in hand with that.
Hmm.
So this will be my first like EA role where I won't be people pleasing, and I love that idea. And at first, like, 'cause it was really challenging. I started therapy in July, about like halfway through my work experience at this company. They hired me when I was in a people pleasing place, not knowing that about me, but then me knowing that about me, and then me reframing in EMDR. I was like, oh God, I like really despise the types of dynamics that I have to deal with post healed, reframe people pleasing mindset. No, I have no interest in people pleasing. But then when they're so used to you people pleasing, and then that creates like an internal conflict for yourself. And so you no longer feel like, oh, the vibes are kind of weird externally. The vibes are weird internally too. So for the past,
Well,
like,
yeah, the internal
yeah,
reflects this external.
exactly. And so you're like, ooh, this doesn't feel right. I need to get out of here. But then there's a stigma about trying to stay in a job for over a year at least. And like, I think a lot of those paradigms are being shed in society, especially with Gen Z. Like, I love the Gen Z mindset. They're like, I don't want to tolerate a bad environment. And honestly, we should learn from that because I'm at the point now where I'm like, tolerating a bad environment is related to me people pleasing. Because if it's not going to serve me and if it's only hindering my mental health, or like just like the comments from the peanut gallery left and right, like I would hear the types of phone calls I would hear from the CEO to just anyone who he was talking to. It was like disgusting. Like I just couldn't imagine having to work for directly for someone like that. And like I'm just an omniscient character in this play that is this company, right? Like I'm just hearing all of this. And there were like 5 or 6 of us that would just always hear his toxic conversations. And for me, I'm like, I can't be around people like that in my life. And so this year has been about shedding like just my belief that I need to tolerate bad behavior from toxic men. I mean, period, in every area, not just like work, but like in every area of my life. Like if somebody's going to show you who they are, you have to believe them. And then you also have to recognize in yourself of like, what is this dynamic teaching me about myself? What is like the golden nugget? Because I truly believe like there's a golden nugget in every bad situation or every challenging situation, toxic, whatever way you want to phrase it. And like my golden nugget was like, it just tuned me back inward. And like, it also forced me to be in my body. And like, I was dissociating to cope with like the toxic stuff that I was witnessing and like being not directly involved with, just bearing witness to it. And I'm like, I don't need to bear witness to someone power tripping and treating people badly. Like, I just don't need to deal with that.
Yeah. Well, I think it also comes down to just trusting yourself,
Yeah,
trusting your own information, and your body is the best indicator
totally.
for all of this. It's kind of the
If you're leaving,
thermometer. Yeah.
yeah, if you're
You
leaving your
know,
body, that's bad. Like,
exactly. If you're leaving your body, it always will tell you, right?
yeah.
Like if you get sick in an environment too
Mhm.
often,
Mhm.
if you have anxiety, if that brings you, tension, your
Yeah,
body's always gonna be showing you where if the energy is off, you're gonna feel it. But a
yeah.
lot of times we do override that and we ignore that, like,
You intellectualize it
yeah, you're
because
just like put it in the
That's
back burner of things
right,
and
right.
then just keep moving on. And because it's interesting, because the more you stay in it, the more you're embedded in that
Mhm.
situation. It's hard to kind of, take yourself apart from those situations. But again, like the environment you're in, regardless if it's like family,
Yeah,
work, or relationship, it dictates a lot how you move forward in life and how you're moving day to day. Mental health, emotional health. I mean, I also speak from experience just by living, always had like roommates,
yeah.
how that also impacts a
I mean,
lot of things in your life.
yeah. I mean, that's also something that you kind of wrapped up fully this year too, right? Like the
Yeah.
final shed of like being able to move into your own space
Yeah.
and
So that was also a highlight this year.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Moving. I mean, hopefully this will be like the last move for a while where I just want
Yeah,
to
I
like,
truly believe that.
yeah, just like
Yeah,
just want to like settle and just like
yeah,
really create a solid foundation here where I am.
yeah.
And, just excited about all the possibilities that come with that. So for me, it was kind of like a mix of relief of just like really being in my own energy, doing my things the way that I like it, whenever I like it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And just
That's
being
like
this,
autonomy.
yeah, just
Yeah.
having some quiet and peace. That's kind of all I look forward to. But yeah, so it's been a lot of closing old chapters and then beginning new ones too, which can be a little scary for a lot of us, just kind of like stepping into the unknown and starting new
Mhm.
things. You're like, well, I don't know how to do this. You're like, well, you just learn as you go, honestly.
You just got to do it.
No
Like,
one knows what they're doing in life. There's no manual that
I
comes
mean,
with it. You can read as many books as you can or you like, but these are only like guidelines.
right.
They're not going to tell you exactly what to do. Even us as psychics, we cannot tell you what to do.
No, totally. And like in like the framework that we learned at the meditation school we went to, it was like you like are gathering and you're sourcing for information and you can, so many people just kind of teeter totter between the two places, right? Where they don't move into that inspired action. And I'm really talking about myself right now. And I'm, with my creative projects, like I'm like always gathering and sourcing. And like one of my goals for 2026, especially moving into the year of the horse, which I'm born in the year of the horse. So it's gonna be my year. And I like truly believe that. I know everyone's like, this is gonna be my year. but it
And then
was
at the end of the year, then you look back, oh, that wasn't my year.
right. Yeah. So I'm gonna look back and feel accomplished in whatever happens, no expectations on myself. But the projects that have been living in my head rent free, like let's put those out on paper and make them real and tangible and like you can feel them with your physical hands. So that's something that I'm looking forward to in 2026.
Yeah,
And
I feel the same way too. I think 2026 is just kind of the year of just like putting stuff out there,
yeah,
right? Whether it be starting your own business or whether it be, I don't know, starting a new routine or connecting with new people or just kind of like getting that motion, just get things in movement. I think that's kind of like, I don't know, as I was meditating to it too, feel like the next year is going to be a lot of like the universe is like really pushing
yeah,
people to take action. And again, like you do have the option, you can stay where you are,
right.
because no one is going to force you, or you can just kind of really take this as an opportunity to really push yourself forward and just get in the momentum and then just keep moving forward. Because again, like energy needs to flow.
Yeah.
If you're just sitting in that puddle, again, no one's going to move it for you unless you move, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so for me, I usually like I stop like setting up like resolutions and things like that.
Mhm.
So usually like I will set an intention, right? Like what is my intention for the year to come? So for me, 2026, it's all about, the word for me is courage.
Mhm.
Are you brave enough to take the necessary steps to have
Yeah.
a more fulfilling and meaningful life? And
I
that
love
takes
that.
courage and bravery, right? To maybe leave that job and start your own business, or it is
Yeah.
to leave that relationship that doesn't serve you anymore and be more on your own, etc. That can be
Yeah.
like it's anything. So for me, that's going to be more in that sense of bringing like doing things that I'm like I've been either in fear of or
Right.
postponing
Yeah. Yeah.
or dreading to do it.
Yeah.
And just start with small steps. It doesn't have to be like big things, because big things, I think, like it overwhelms people. So then it just freezes you and you end up not taking any action. But it's more about taking the small steps to get where you want to be. And that could be just starting small things in your daily routine,
Yeah.
one small thing here, because every small thing leads up to the bigger thing.
Yeah, it does. And like it compounds it, right? So like if you can break it down into a few small steps. So like one of my goals for next year is to, I mean, let's just pick one random. I want to write a children's book about Zoe and Trixie. I think they're so cute.
I think it's going to be adorable.
Yeah. So like, taking that, like, what do I really need to do? That's the end result. I write that book, I publish it. But like, what are all the tiny little steps that I need to do? I need to story map it. I need to come up with like the illustration. So it's like all these different, even if you're baking a sourdough bread, there's all these different ingredients that you need to do. Or like, oh, I really want to learn how to play piano. Okay, well, what does that really mean? You want to be able to play this. You're like breaking it down and making it.
Yeah, so it starts like, okay, can I Google it? That's the first step. Google, a piano teacher.
Totally.
And then contacting the piano teacher.
Yeah. Or YouTube.
Exactly.
YouTube is free. Like, and some guy, he taught himself. I saw TikTok the other day. I know that we have a couple minutes left, but he literally taught himself how to play cello beautifully, like perfectly from YouTube. And
that's
so it's
great.
like, if you have this desire that lives within you, like pay attention to your desires, because that's going to be your like North Star to drive you forward and like keep you motivated.
Yeah. And this desire is there for a reason.
Yes, exactly.
It's not a random thing. It's not a random thought. It is there because it probably needs to be explored in this lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, yeah, so like, what are you like, kind of do some reflection? Like, what have you learned about yourself in 2025? What are you shedding? And like, think about it, like, even from the past 9 years, because like it's a 9-year year and then transitioning to a 1 year. So what are you going to be like charging ahead, not only for next year, but like, maybe there's a goal that's like, might take 9 years, or like, so kind of think like long term, where do you want your life to be? Especially if you are doing vision boards or anything like that.
Yeah. And I think that life is short. I know this is such a cliche, but we're only here for temporarily.
Yeah.
So a year from now, do you want to be in the same situation? Do you want to be doing the same things? I mean, a year from now is not that far ahead, but it gives you kind of like a good perspective. So what seeds can you plant today that are going to take you to, something that feels a lot more exciting, than just like dreading the days or just like surviving, basically. But I think also for both you and I too, also looking at this podcast space too.
Right. Like bringing more guests. Let's intentionally speak into
Yes. And, and make it reach more people too, and spread, all this information. But we would also love to hear what you also, their listeners, will be setting up for 2026. What are you letting go in 2025? So do share, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. And please follow us. We're everywhere, social media. You can watch this video on YouTube. And we look forward to 2026.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.